Hey y'all, it is Abalori here with 1720 Finance, and today I am doing something a little bit different from what I have been doing for the last couple budget videos, and I am giving you guys a quarterly planning update from what has been going on for the months of April, May, and June. We are currently in quarter three, starting with July. And if you kind of sort of are a business person or you work in quarterly planning, you know we have 4 quarters in a year, and so July, August, and September rounds out quarter three, and then the rest of the month will round out quarter four. But today I am here with a quarterly planning update for the months of April, May, and June. So, for those of you who are new to me or you really don't know me, I am Nurse Abalori. I am a board certified registered nurse of over 20 years, and I am on a journey to become debt free or be as close to debt free as possible. And in this journey, over the past 3 years, almost 3 years, I have been working multiple jobs, putting in overtime just to make some extra money to be able to pay off some debts that were lasting from a divorce that I went through 3 years ago. And so I'm also a mother of a 21-year-old college student who actually, making sure that he is going through college, doesn't have any debts, isn't incurring any debts. So as a mom, I am responsible for paying parts of his tuition. But here on this channel, we talk about budgeting, finance, saving, investing, and really sort of just, no, not sort of, really getting out of debt. And here at 1720 Faith, we go off of the biblical scripture, Matthew 17:20, that talks about having the faith of a mustard seed. And it simply states that if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, if you tell that mountain to move, it will get up and move. All he is requiring you is to have mustard size seed of faith. And so what that means for us here is if we continue the faith, if we keep the faith, if we ask our financial mountain to move, it will get up and move, all by again just having mustard size seed faith, or mustard seed size faith, I should say. So, as I alluded to earlier, today we are doing quarterly planning. We are, well, not quarterly planning, but a quarterly planning update because so much has happened in the last couple months. I feel like doing a sit down probably will not do it much justice, but however, I'm going to try to get through this video and kind of just let you guys know where I am in my journey and what is happening. The other caveat to this is if you would like this Notion template, I will link it down in the show notes. I got this from another creator on here, Shay Budges, who uses the Notion template for her planning, her I would say life planning. She does a whole lot of things, but she notes all of that on the Notion template. And so for me, that is where I got my inspiration from, and I kind of tweaked this template to make it my own, to make it to be what I want it to be. So again, as we get started with our quarterly planning update for the months April, May, and June, I just want to let you guys know that you need to absolutely be able to plan, journal, note take, keep some type of written documentation of how you are navigating through your financial journey. For me specifically, I don't have them here because I'm actually in my kitchen. I'm not in my office, but I usually use a budgeting spreadsheet as well as an electronic spreadsheet. I kind of float in between both. That's just something that I do. But for the most part, I do use paper to pen. I like to highlight. I like to see. I like to I just like to see where I am. I like to see the progress on paper. And sometimes when we're using things electronically, it doesn't give us the fattest satisfaction sometimes of if we actually see it on paper, we X it out, we highlight it, we write it in red, whatever it is. we see it and we kind of just get a little bit more happier about the processes that we're going through in terms of working through our debt. And so, what I wanted to say is, I encourage you again to keep a running journal, spreadsheet, notebook, paper, whatever, to document your debts and be able to go back to look and see where you've come from to now where you are. And again, you definitely need this because it builds so much um joy and happiness, and you have self gratification and self just being gracious of, dang, I was able to pay off this one debt. Even if the debt was $25, you owed somebody $25 and you was actually able to X through that debt, write it out in red, notate it that it's paid, you were actually able to get it done. And again, it's no greater satisfaction than seeing it on paper. So as we start, I'm going to go through again the quarterly planning update for myself here in my personal life as it relates to business. And so as we get down to the business, I am going to start, you guys see in the first column is the personal column, and I like to just put personal. I like to put all of the things that I am thinking about or I'm planning for just on this Notion tab. I don't use separate tabs like for business and finance planning. I just like to see it all on one tab. I just think it keeps me better organized. I don't have to float through as many tabs as you know that there is out there. So we're going to start off on a personal note. And I'm sorry if this video is kind of long, but I kind of want to get through. So it may be long, but I am going to try to talk fast. I'm a natural fast talker. It's just a Baltimore thing. If you're from Baltimore, you know. So on my personal side of things, if we go over here, personally, I have been on a wellness journey, a top tier wellness journey from January up until this month of July. Every day I am either doing a weight training or I'm doing Pilates or I am walking the dog. Pretty much every day I walk. I walk every day. As long as it's not raining and it's not extremely hot outside, then I will walk. I usually walk my dog usually 2 times a day. If I am home, if I'm at work, typically I'm only able to walk him once a day. But for the most part, if I am home, I will walk him in the morning. And then if it's not hot outside, I kind of walk him in the midday and then we'll walk again in the evening. But however it goes, as long as it's not raining and we don't have extreme cold or heat, then I'm walking him every single day. And again, for the most part, at least twice a day. In between me walking, like I walked him earlier this morning around 11 a.m. So later on today, I will be doing a weight training class. So I typically alternate on days. So I'll do days of walking and then Pilates. And then the next day, it may be walking and then weight class. So that's how I alternate. So my goal with that is to lose the next 10 pounds. I've already lost the first 10. I am on my way to losing the second 10, which will be a total of 20 pounds. So that's where I am. I have been able to do it basically just watching what I eat. I've been using my S Health. I'm an Android user, and embedded in our Android phones is the S Health app. That is what I use, and that works for me in terms of it does my calorie counts when I'm working out. As long as I have my watch or my phone on, it'll count my steps. I can log in any vitamins that I'm taking, any medications. I can also log in um, my meals for the day, so I can always track and see what I'm eating. So my first 10 pounds is completely due to just me watching what I eat and working out. I am a person, I hibernate in the winter, so I have to always be cautious and mindful that from like November to March, I typically will gain weight because I am in the house. Even though I have a gym in my house, it does not make it easier, you guys, because I have a gym upstairs right next to my bedroom. One of my spare rooms is a gym. In fact, it's probably the worst thing that I could have ever done because you get lazy in the aspect of, oh, I'll work out later. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. I'll go ahead and work out at 12 o'clock. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Let me go ahead and push it back till 4. If I maintain my gym membership, then I consciously have to get up, get dressed, get in my car, and go to the gym. However, there is convenience to it as well because in the winter months, the heat, um the ease, it's there, but it can be a gift and a curse. So I'm on my way to sum that up. I am on my way to losing the next set of 20 pounds, that, well, the next set of 10 that'll round me out to 20. So as we keep on, I'm going to do another video about this, but for medical, I had been paying medical out of pocket. And so what essentially happened is my medical is now going to be sponsored by my employer. For those of you who don't know, I was working for a healthcare system here when my mom got sick and ultimately passed away suddenly. And so I was in a job that was very high stressed. It was just a stressful job. So having a stressful job and then dealing with the untimely death of her, and then knowing that I had to go back to a stressful environment, it did not work for me. It was not working for me. So I decided to just go ahead and put in my 2 weeks notice and just kind of go through the whole grieving process, reset myself. There was so much that was going on in between that I decided to leave that particular job. Now, I wanted to stay with the employer. However, I just wasn't in the mind space to apply for another position or go out because so much had been going on in that span of time. So in May, I reapplied to go back. I got rehired. I kept my tenure. I was already with them for like 9-10 years. I kept my tenure, and so I am back now with my medical, dental, vision, retirement, 401k, all of that. So I don't have to no longer pay out of pocket for medical insurance. So embedded in that, I have to start rescheduling all of my physicals, mammograms, all of the things that you need to do yearly. And my son as well, he is going to be probably going back out to play basketball. So he's going to be needing a complete physical. And one of the things that I do have to put on a list that I am going to put on the list is I do want to schedule cardiology appointments for the both of us because for those of you who don't know, my mom was diagnosed. Well, she was not diagnosed. Well, she was undiagnosed with atrial fib. That means it's a regular heart rate, and it got so out of control that by the time they figured out what was going on with her, she was going into congestive heart failure, and so she ultimately passed away from congestive heart failure due to undiagnosed or the underlying undiagnosed cause of atrial fib. And so my son is a basketball player, and so I want to make sure that we're in the line of just heredity will plague you, if you know what I mean. I currently have what's called first degree heart block. So it just means that my heart doesn't pump the way it should pump. It just has an extra beat either before or after it's supposed to rest or beat. And so I need to keep an abreast on that, ultimately because of what my mom passed away from. So all of this is currently, we're in the process of doing all of this, scheduling medical appointments, cardiology appointments, all of those things. And again, the cardiology appointment is something that I definitely will be talking to my PCP about, to just for maintenance. And if anything is gonna happen, they're gonna be on top of it, or they're gonna know, hey, this person's mom passed away from undiagnosed atrial fib that caused congestive heart failure. We need to keep an eye on that. And so that's pretty much what we're going to be doing on the medical side. So all of this is probably going to still slave over into third quarter. So again, even though we are going through second quarter, it's kind of going to a lot of this is going to carry over into third and fourth quarter. So since January, I have been listening to a bunch of audio books. I completed a few books, The Psychology of Money. I did The Fifth Avenue Apartment, which was a book I absolutely adored. It was just a great audio book. Never Date a Broke Dude. It's just kind of something I put in the back of my mind, just something to keep remembrance of. Yeah, you don't want to go back into spaces that aren't, that's not going to be like conducive to your growth. I will just leave it at that. But that was a book. Actually, I saw the lady on TikTok, and she's into finance and retirement and investing. And so she was the one who talked about her book. So ultimately, it was just me coming across her on the TikTok when I was scrolling that I saw her live, and she was talking about her book. So ultimately, that's how I ended up with the book, and it was a great book. Now I am listening to the audio book, The Women of the Bible Speak, and I think it goes through 7 or 10 notable women, or I think some are not as notable in the Bible, so it's going through that. So I'm currently in that Bible study for the women of the Bible who speak. Beauty appointments, you guys, I am still slacking on beauty appointments. In fact, I just, because I have been working so much, I have neglected the beauty side of things, and so I really need to get back on it. And the first thing that I'm going to do is probably get me a massage and then a facial. Well, I might just do a massage and a pedi mani. It's been a minute. And you guys know, if you've looked at my other previous videos, you guys know that I have been working 2 jobs, now 3. And yeah, I have just been busy working to pay off these debts. And so that's where my mind has been, ultimately not focused on, just not focused on doing much for me. The much for me was just making sure that I kept a roof over my head, food in my house, running water, electricity, the things that just keep me comfortable while I am at home. That is what I was focusing on. So we're going to move over into to the financial tab. And so speaking about budgeting and mani and petties, for the last 6 months, we're in month 7. I have been maintaining my household bills just by the grace of God. I have completed all of my budgets for April, May, and June. I am now I need to do budget completed for, well, no, let me not put that there since we're so I did all of my budgets for April, May, and June. I have got a handle on my expenses. I actually am proud of myself because one of the things on this channel we talk about is getting out of debt. And one of the things that is helping me get out of debt is just putting down all of the debts that I owe and tackling them, no matter how small or how big they are, just doing something with those debts. And so one of the things that has been plaguing me throughout the last 2.5 years is the amount of tolls and tickets and taxes that I have had to pay for my car, my son's car, and then ultimately my ex-husband's car. And you guys may ask, because I helped him get a car, when it was time to renew tags and pay taxes, he had not been paying the taxes on the van. And so in order for me to renew my tags on my car and my son's car, I had to pay the outstanding taxes that he didn't pay on his car. Yeah. And it was just a whole debacle for that. So lo and behold, because it was so much incremental debt at one time, I had to just pay it when when I was able to pay it. I did devise a plan on, like, this month I am going to pay this one. Next week I am going to pay these two. And so I had to break it down, and ultimately the total that I was able to pay was $1,320.24 in tolls, tickets, and taxes. As of this date, July 9th, everything has been paid in terms of me being able to now renew our cars. And so I will be going to the DMV tomorrow to renew our tags and get everything straight. And I kind of just, this is the high that I have been on since I made that last payment. I want to say like 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, I made that last payment. I called them. They told me that everything was clear. There was no more DMV holds. Everything has been settled. It was down to a zero balance. Everything has been paid. And I can't be more happy than what I am right now. So if you catch me at this part of the video where I am on a high note, just know this is the main reason why I run this channel, or why I started this channel, is because I want to inspire people to not to give up, no matter how big the debt is. Even if you have to pay it down, $10 here, $15 there, increments. Do what you need to do to pay your debts off and to get out of debt. And so again, if you catch the high notes while I'm talking in this video, you absolutely know why. And so we're coming over to currently right now, again, we are now in quarter three. I just listed quarter three here because actually within Notion, you can copy your pages. And so this will ultimately go over, well, no, this won't be a, well, yeah, it will be. It will be my quarterly three update. So this page will live until I'm going to update it for quarter three in the few months, and then we'll come back to it. But I still put quarter three here. Quarter three outstanding debts. The one things that I did pay for quarter three was my HOA. My HOA is $324, I believe. So I paid that. It's done. It's done for the year. And I am going to be doing a lot of envelope stuffing to prepare for next year, because each month I'm going to be putting away, I believe it's like $12 towards this particular towards my HOA, and then I'll be able to pay it when the new HOA bill comes out in, I think, January or February. So with embedded in quarter three, I have my VA state taxes. Unfortunately, no matter what I give them, I still owe for state taxes, and it's just, yeah, I just still owe. So I owe like $520 some dollars. So I'll be breaking that down into two payments, $250 one week, $250 the next week. So that is what's going to live. I'm going to break that down into I'm just putting it here as a note. So it'll be 251 week, and like two, whatever the balance is, two something or two whatever, and then two whatever. And then that will be paid off. It will be done. Medical bills. I'm currently, actually, this is my project, you guys, for quarter three. My budgets were broken down into phases. So now that I'm done with phase one, phase two is going to be paying down my medical bills. So once I pay those medical bills off, that will round out my phase two for medical bills and kind of any other miscellaneous debts that I'll be able to pay. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, yeah, I'm just looking forward to that. Going over into the business goals columns over here, you guys, business expenses. I have really cut back on the amount of things that I have been, the amount of things that I have had to pay for in a business. One of the things, oh, I do need to put that here. All right. We're just going to put that here as a reminder as I tell you guys. So I'm trying to cut back on my business expenses, which I have done greatly. I really don't have a lot of business expenses, but in relation to what expenses I have, let me see. I need to put one there. YouTube. Okay. So I'm just thinking, because I just realized that's a business expense. My business expenses is Canva. You guys know that I use Canva. I don't have a PO box as of yet, because for the time being, I have suspended my Poshmark business, and it's not because I don't want to do it. It's just because right now my time is so tight that I don't have time to promote and do what I need to do for that business. I am probably going to pick it back up probably closer to the fall. But for right now, that's just on hold and set aside. And that's just because honestly, working two jobs, my focus was getting caught up on my current bills and paying off debt, even though that could potentially put money in my pocket. I just don't have the time dedicated to do what I need to do for that business. And so that has just been kind of to the side. So to go along with that, I would need to restart my PO box. I am currently paying for my storage fee to house those items that I have because my garage is not really in shape for me to bring them back here. Meaning, my garage is not finished, but I have things in there for when my mom passed away that um, I brought to my home, and then as well as my ex-husband used to do catering, so I still have a lot of his catering stuff in there. So I had to slowly clean out my garage, and all the things that I'm selling or that I've kept is all in storage. And so it's just a project. It's still going to take me a little bit to do because, again, it is just me doing it. YouTube Premium is what I pay every month, and it's actually on my main YouTube channel. So if you go to 1720 Faith, that's my main channel. That's kind of where I go when I want to watch videos. I don't want to have any ad interruptions, things like that. So that is, I consider it business, but because it does house my faith, in my faith business, my videos and things like that. So yeah, I just pay for that. Riverside is currently, you guys, this is what I'm currently recording this video on. It is on the lines of StreamYard, so to speak, Zoom, where you can go in and record your videos and upload them to wherever you go. That is like $21 a month. I think I have, outside of the free plan, the next plan up was like the $21 plan or $22 plan. That plan made sense for me because it's just me. uh Google, I do have Google storage, and it is the three something. Well, it's not the corporate, it's not the big one, it's the one right underneath the big one. And that YouTube storage goes across the span of all of my YouTube Gmail's boxes that I have, but I only really use three of them. So between the three of them is the storage is divided. Pasha VA is an automatic app that if you are a person who does Poshmark, it'll kind of auto send out things. It'll schedule your shares. It'll give people offers. It's kind of like your VA for your thrift business. However, because I am not currently doing my thrift business, I put that on hold until I get ready to start. No, Jax. Let's see. Podcast filming days. I don't know. To be honest with you, I've tried to keep it where I'm filming certain days, but those free days wind up turning into work days. So it's kind of just like when I get a minute, I can film. That's just how it is for right now. I still have been scheduling my post. That's an automatic thing. My sales goals, I had actually been hitting them before I stopped my Poshmark, which is a crazy thing, but I just did not have the time. And so I was hitting my 4 sales for the month. The last quarterly, I did like 9. Excuse me, you guys. No, Jax. Sorry, you guys. Quarterly updates. I'm sorry. My last quarterly, the last time I did my Poshmark and I was heavy into it, I actually met my goal and exceeded it. I sold 9 items. And usually for the month, my goal was to sell 4 because I wasn't dedicating the amount of time that I could have been dedicating to sell more. So I was like, if I sell 4 things, then that's good. At least I made pocket change that I could reinvest into my Poshmark business. And so essentially, the last time we talked, you guys, I had made $96. Coaching and sponsorship, speaking engagements, that's all on the back burner for now in terms of business because I'm still really focused on just paying off my debts. And so it's just going to be what it is. Travel. Woo! This is a big one, you guys. Let me tell you. Well, one of the things I will say is for the last 3 years, I have pretty much held off on taking any big vacations, any big trips, any big things that is it raining? That I knew would take away from me paying off debt. And again, self care like mani pedis, massages, facials, those things I really had to let go of and just kind of do those things at home. Giving myself a pedicure, keeping my own nails trimmed and cut and just with clear polish on. Same thing with my toes. Just, I've never been a person who suffered from acne and bad skin. Moles run in my family, specifically on my mom's side. So I'm a person, I do have moles, and I usually go to the dermatologist and let her laser them off. But they haven't been bad enough yet for me to go back. I think the last time I did it was probably like 4 years ago. So I haven't had to go back. Typically, I can maintain my own skin regimen. I don't have over oily skin and I don't have really dry skin. For the most part, my skin is neutral, and once I clean it with something and put on a good moisturizer, my skin is pretty good. So I've been lucky in that. Plus, I drink a lot of water, you guys. I drink tons of water and I take um, vitamins every day. So I don't have to really. So I was blessed in those areas where a lot of stuff I can maintain at home. In addition to that, the travel was one of the big things that I'm going to be honest with you guys. Traveling with my mom was a big part of my life. And when she passed away, especially in terms of us taking cruises, when she passed away, I just didn't really have the desire to go back and cruise and do the things that we used to do because simply put, she was not here. So I really had not really put too much emphasis on travel because I'm like, well, it is what it is for now. But also, me getting out of debt or me trying to get out of debt, paying off debt, it kind of also put a curtain over the fact that you need to travel. You haven't traveled. When you're going to take a travel? So I kind of lumped all of that grief and then the healing journey and budgeting and working. I kind of lumped all that together to say specifically this. I did not do much traveling in the last 3 years. A matter of fact, I will honestly tell you the last time I went on a good vacation was back in 2024, where my sorority, our conference was in St. Thomas, and that's where we went. That was the last true vacation that I had where I actually got to enjoy some time on the water, eat something good, relax in the sun. That was the last good vacation that I had. The following year, last year, 2025, I went to DC for a Black Women Invest convention conference. And so I really didn't, it really, that was more like a staycation, but it really wasn't a vacation. It was me going there to learn about investing, getting out of debt, all of the good things that this channel represents is what I went there for. And so again, with that being said, I really have not taken any type of trips, whether it's a cruise, a destination vacation, a staycation, or a day trip. Just simply put, one, I didn't have the time because I was working. Two, I was still kind of in that grief stage. But however, now that I am back to working, back to making more money, additional income, I can now take a breather and go take a small trip, a vacation somewhere. So that is coming in the works. I want to say I'm planning to do something within the next month. There are a couple other things that I need to do, and we're going to talk about that. So right now, travel is in the works. I don't know. I may just simply do a cruise, a quick cruise, fly down to Florida, do a quick cruise, like 3-4 day cruise, and then come back and just kind of, for one, I'm in a planning group because I like to travel. So I decided to get into a planner group, a planner, a vacation membership where it gives us discounts on things that we want to do. So I'm going to utilize that. I pay $50 a month for it, so I'm going to utilize it. Oh, let me put this right here as well. It's called Travel Z. And so every month is a membership fee, and it gives you just a bunch of discounts on wherever you are doing your vacation, even if you are doing a hotel or if you are just needing the plane tickets, whatever they got you covered. And so I plan on utilizing that. All right. So I'm going to speed it up, you guys. Parental wise, my dog has been getting his scheduled baths. That's one thing that I had to kind of like, I was doing them myself at first, but then with me working, I just didn't have the time to take him and bathe him. So he's now back to his groomer. And in fact, I need to call them today to schedule his bath for the weekend. But he's back to his regular scheduled groomer. His groomer charges about $45 to bathe him, to trim his nails, and to brush his teeth. So he's back on that regimen because mama just didn't have time. I do need to schedule his vet appointment. He is desperately due for shots, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and do that. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. So I'll schedule his vet appointment because he does need to get a physical. He does need to check up. He does need to get his wellness shots and things like that. So we're going to do that. Medical appointments, I need to put, I think I'm going to, well, no, I guess I could leave this here because it is on the parental. Got to make sure again, you early in the video, you guys, when I was talking about medical, I do need to schedule my son's appointments. That'll be coming up shortly. Relationship goals, family and friends. So August 8th, I'm doing a crabbing cruise with some co-workers, and then I'm probably going to do one by myself, but that's in the works. We're supposed to be going August 8th to do a crabbing cruise. For the birthdays, for the quarterly birthdays, my birthday was in January. Nothing big happened. My son treated me to dinner and it was quiet. I spent it at home. My birthday's in January. It's in winter. Most people know I don't like to leave out my house in the cold because it's just, I hate cold weather. So most of the time, my birthdays are spent indoors. My dad's birthday was June 30th, so I spoke to him, sent him some money, Western Union. For you guys who are new to me and you don't know me, my dad is from Nigeria. He is from Africa, and so he is currently home with his family. He actually, ironically, he actually left in May of 2023, and then my mom passed in August of 2023. So their last interaction was them just arguing with each other like parents do, divorced parents do. That was their last interaction. It was, albeit now I look at it, a funny interaction, and that's just something that they did. They bantered each other every time they was in each other's presence. So his birthday was June 30th. I sent him some money. He's doing great. That's that. Professional. So things have kind of taken a turn. I'm hoping that going back to my healthcare organization, that I am able to get trained on putting in pick lines, something that I don't have to pay for. If I have to pay for it, that class is like, I want to say like either 4 something or 7 something. I got to check on the latest numbers. Studying for my IV certification. There are only so many people in the United States that have an IV certification. So that's one of the things that I need to actually start really studying for, because the test, I think, is 150 questions. 25 of them are not scored, but of course they don't tell you which ones it's not scored. But I do want to get my IV certification. And yeah, kind of just, yeah. So that's that on a professional. I don't have to do any other things. I'm caught up with everything. CPR, I'm caught up in. Renewing my license, I did that this year, so I'm caught up with that. Home projects. Okay, you guys, we're at 40 minutes in this video. Home projects. So the home projects that I have planned for in my home that I kind of have been putting off is I still have to organize my garage. So I'm actually going to uncheck that because that is an ongoing thing. That's one. Then two, the other thing is I have been deep cleaning my carpets with my own shampooer. I'm still going to do that if I can, or at least do the parts that I can until my what's great is my lawn guy who actually comes and cuts and maintains my lawn. He does a lot of home improvement. So with that being said, he's going to pull my carpet up and he's going to put new flooring in my entire house. So we're just going to have to do room by room because it's going to be an expensive project. But all that to say, eventually the carpet will be going away. Currently, we are in the laundry renovation. So what kicked it off was I have had my washer and dryer for 10 years. It is a Samsung. It has now taken its last leg and breath. My washer started going bad a couple months ago. I had the people come out. They gave me a certificate to, I need to go and see if that certificate is still good. Gift certificate. I'm going to hope and pray it's still good. But the people they sent me a gift certificate via email. I print several copies out and they essentially have replaced my washer. However, I did not get a washer at that time because my dryer was still working. So I was like, well, what sense does it make to get a washer and then don't get the dryer? And then eventually I'm going to have to get a dryer because ultimately that's going to go up too. Well, lo and behold, a couple months later, my dryer is now doing the crazy thing. It is now it dries the clothes, but we sometimes have to tumble the clothes twice for them to get them completely dry. So I have scheduled for them to come out, for them to take a look at it, and hopefully he'll just say, hey, this thing is 10 years old. We're going to go ahead and replace it. Once I get that go ahead, I'm going to call the people to have them remove the washer and dryer, set it outside for bulk trash to pick it up. In that same span, my lawn guy is going to come and rip up all the flooring and put me down some new flooring and make my laundry room aesthetically pleasing. And then once that's done, he gives me the okay. I'm going to go ahead and order my new washer and dryer from those to be replaced. So that's what I am thinking. I am just hoping that everything falls in line as I pay for the pieces to fall in line. So he's already given me an estimate of $600 to get the materials, his labor, which I think is pretty good. I'm not Y'all tell me if this is a good thing. My laundry room is not really huge. It's just an average size laundry room where you could fit a full size washer and dryer. I have shelves. It's on my second floor. So I mean, considering what I probably could, I mean, y'all tell me if this is too much or too little. I don't know. But again, he's my lawn guy. I just happened to put out a feeler to him and ask him if he knew anybody that did home repairs. He said him and his two partners, they do the home repairs. He helps them as well, or he does them, but he also cuts grass. In the story, I'm going to get the laundry room done. Spiritual wise, so you guys remember back, I started with a new church because my actual church is kind of far. So I did the membership. I didn't complete new orientation only because I'm still partial to my church and I'm kind of having a hard time transitioning away from them. It's just that the campus that they are on every Sunday is about 45 minutes from me. So it's like the drive time. So I've been just kind of doing my own Bible study at home. There is a online guy. There is a guy who comes online every Sunday who does like almost like church. He's not a preacher or anything, but he does. We all get together on Zoom. He does the word. We talk about it. He gives us interpretations of the Bible. So that's what I've been doing in addition to just doing my own Bible study. I like the church, but I don't know if I like it enough to want to switch because I actually like the pastor of my old church. He's been our pastor when we were going to a new church. He branched off and got his own. So I just and plus he was real. When my mom moved here, she went to church with us, so that's how she met our pastor. So they wound up ultimately becoming good friends. And so it's kind of a family down there. Plus, he's a good person, so it's like I don't want to lead a church. But anywho, so I say all that to say is there is a church that I can go to if I should want to worship in person. It's just that this church is 5 minutes from my house. Not even 5 minutes, literally like two rights and I'm there. So literally like 3 to 5 minutes. And then my actual church is 45 minutes away. So yeah. So that's it, you guys. Miscellaneous. There's nothing really in miscellaneous that I have to do. I can back out of there. I don't have anything to do in miscellaneous at the moment. Everything is already accounted for. It's logged. It's where it needs to be. But I just kind of want to go ahead and give you guys an update of where I am in life. Things are moving in a great direction. For some time, I felt like a lag. I felt like things weren't moving. I just felt like there was a standstill. I was working, but I was working against myself and my goal. And finally, April came the big breakthrough when I was able to really dive deep, get in, and pay off these debts. And so yeah, that is it, you guys. Thank you for tuning in for my quarterly planning updates for the month of April, May, and June. Please be on the lookout. July's budget is coming right around the corner where you actually get to see the numbers, working live numbers, everything that I have paid, where I'm headed, um and kind of just see how my debt-free journey is going. So until the next time, if you know somebody that needs inspiration and motivation, please encourage them to head on over here to 1720 Faith to get all the motivation and inspiration they need to continue on in their debt-free journey. So with that being said, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in the next video.